Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso on SABC3, and I think I am the envy of all men across South Africa, surrounded by absolutely gorgeous women. Our first guest today. Could you please calm down with yourself? But one of our very first guests today, one of the most successful young women in the entertainment business right now. She's a TV presenter, she's an actress, she's a model, she's a cover girl. All of those. Boity Thulo, how are you doing? Great to have you on the show.
Yeah. Likewise, I'm awesome, guys. How are you guys doing?
We're awesome. Now, I want to know, I want you to tell everyone how your journey in the entertainment industry began.
Well, basically, it started with my Wimpy Cheesinator ad. That was,
of course.
Yeah, that's literally where it started. And from there on, after I shot that ad, and it was being airing and blah, 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 people started noticing me. And from there on, I would go to castings, and people would recognize me from there. And, you know, my chances were higher to get the jobs. So, yeah, I started there, and since 2010. So it's been a short journey, but it's been very steady and nice.
That ad is still being searched and watched on YouTube right now. Can you do that line again? Where he's like, what he said? Instead of my Louisinator, and then you say,
my guarantees in it.
Oh man, that is so cool. I had it done live right here on Expresso. So cool. But you've been nominated and voted into some of South Africa's sexiest list. There's the Sowetan that voted you as Mzansi sexiest woman. You were
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
Don't get it twisted.
Come on now. And also you cracked the FHM 100 sexiest women in the world.
Yeah.
What does the word or the concept of sexy mean to you?
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's a dictionary term that everyone follows. You know, it's probably got to do with how you look mainly. But for me, I think, I know it's going to sound very cheesy, but everything starts within. Yes, that's the theme I'm going on right now. But I think sexy for me is a brilliant confidence, and you know, being firm in your morals and what you stand for without offending anyone. And I don't know, everything just it shines from within. Yeah. So if you're okay inside, everyone else will see it.
Like
but for other people, I guess sexy is taking care of your physique and looking good all the time.
Of course. Now, like Kat mentioned, you're an actress, you're a presenter, and you're a model. Now, my thing is, I want to talk about body image. Because, I mean, we're short girls, you're a thick girl, you know, we're curvaceous.
Only girls are allowed to say that, Maya.
No, but we are. We're curvy in the right places. And in the modeling industry, it's typical to be tall and skinny.
But you know what,
But for you, what is it for you? What do you think made you able to be like, you know what, I can crack the industry in this angle, this way? How did you do that?
But you know what, in terms of me and me being a model, the same as Kim Kardashian, she's not a model, she's a personality, and she happens to be, you know, to get into these things, these photo shoots. So I'm not an FHM model, or I'm not a typical model. I do what I do because of the fact that I'm a personality. So the reason why I can do it, the reason why I can get away with being thick and curvaceous and short is because I'm not a model per se. I'm just a personality, and I happen to be chosen for things that normal models would get
typically chosen to do. But then what advice then would you give to girls who want to go into the photographic side of it? Because when you do photographic modeling, you can be
you can get away with
pretty much being
short.
any shape. Yeah, as long as everything's in proportion, you can get away with it. But what kind of advice would you give to a girl who's constantly being turned back, not only just in modeling, but in the industry as a whole?
Well, if you're constantly being turned away, then either take the advice of what they give you. Like if you go to a modeling agency and they tell you that you either this or you that, listen to their advice, because they obviously know what they're talking about. But I can't really give the right advice to a girl who's trying to be a model. But just keep trying. And take the advice. Whatever they're telling you, then take it, and don't take it personally when they say that you can't do something. Just, I don't know, use it in another light, in a different light.
Tell me about your influences in life. I mean, you're someone who's very close to your family, right? And they mean quite a lot to you. Your mom is on Twitter. Is she still on Twitter?
Yes, she is.
And Facebook. That's so embarrassing.
Boity's mom.
Very embarrassing. Twitter, if you will, at Boity's mom.
Twitter.
How do you feel about that, though? Is that, like, cool for you? Do you ever tweet each other and poke her and then she pokes you?
all the time. And she speaks this weird, cool language. And I'm just like, she'll tweet me, where you at? Like, why are you speaking like that? That makes no sense. But
does she speak like that at home? Like, hey, yo, Boity, what's up?
No, well, she doesn't call me Boity one.
Okay, all right, we know that.
But she, like, I don't know, she watches more TV than I do. She knows about the news more than I do. She told me that Kim and Kanye were dating. And I was just like, I don't know why you know that, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty
As long as she
awesome.
hasn't started tweeting like naked baby pictures of you.
No.
No baby pictures yet.
At Boity's mom,
no.
I think there are a lot of people that like to see that. I'm just.
You need to see, she's hilarious. She's absolutely hilarious.
Oh my God.
Speaking of Twitter, you've got over 66,000 followers on Twitter. Do you feel a social responsibility to tweet certain things? And if so, how do you go about with them?
Well, I feel like we have to, as personalities, and we have this huge following, we have a responsibility to spread the right word, because you have to understand that there are children who are literally looking at your tweets, or not children, but people who look up to you. They're looking at your tweets, and whatever it is that you're trying to get across, make sure that it's positive. I mean, you don't have to be holier than thou all the time, but yeah, we have a little social responsibility because we've got young people who follow us. I don't know, maybe I'm preaching, but we've got young people who follow us, and yeah, man, we have to make sure that we would want to instill in them what we want our children to learn, you know? So if I had a child, what would I want them to be reading on Twitter?
Definitely.
Or what would I want my child to be seeing from another personality? So I think, I know it's difficult for some people, because some people are just like, well, it's none of my business. It's not my, my responsibility to make sure that some child looks up to me. But we personally actually should, I don't know, make an effort.
You're setting a very, very good example for young women out there in
Definitely.
South Africa about success and how they can go about achieving that. But
Yeah, man.
the conversation's going to go on. As you can hear, the lady has a lot to talk about, and later on we'll be touching on a much, much talked about debate concerning yourself, Minnie.
Yes.
And you,
we get
Boity.
into that.
Dun, dun, dun.
Comparisons.
Scandal. But don't forget, of course, today is World Hamburger Day, and we're making all sorts of burgers. Have you ever heard of a bean burger?
Yes.
This is totally possible, you guys. Just open up your mind. Cohen's going to make us a bean burger.
Yes.
Let's see if you can sink your teeth
smell
into
great
this.
after this.